Tensions have flared up between neighbours Pakistan and Iran. Pakistan says Iran violated its airspace. The Iranian media says the missiles targeted bases of a militant group. Pakistan says the strike resulted in the death of 2 children. Islamabad warns that there will be serious consequences of Iran's actions. Remember, on Monday, Iran's Revolutionary Guard attacked targets in Iraq and Syria with missiles. Now, to discuss this and a lot more, joining me now is Ambassador Anil Trigunayat. He has served in the Indian missions in Bangladesh, the US, Russia and many more. Ambassador, welcome to WION World is One.
Thank you.
My first question, how do you view Iran's strikes in Iraq and Syria?
Well, I think that there are two different, we cannot connect all these 3 strikes in Iraq, Syria and Pakistan. The issue is that here, this group in Pakistan has been working since 2012, if you remember. And they have had several attacks against the Iranians. This is a Sunni group and working along the border of Iran, which is like 955 kilometers long. It's a porous border. And the Sunnis, who are minority in Iran, live on the other side, like Sistan, Baluchistan province. Now, this side also, there are these groups, and Iran feels that they are being sustained. Like every other country feels that Pakistani government, ISI and the military have been supporting these groups against various countries. And that is why when the Pakistanis say that there were coordinating mechanisms and all did not work out, I believe that that may have been one of the reasons. Secondly, 1 month ago, as you know, that these groups had attacked about and killed about 11 of the Iranian policemen. And therefore, this Iran does not, if you will come to think, very rarely does take immediate action.
Right.
It does take time and then goes and attacks. And this is precisely what it has done. Of course, the situation is delicate given the overall scenario within the Middle East, which is very, very unstable at the moment.
Right. Ambassador, that brings me to my next question. You've just told us what's happening in Pakistan. Now, to a certain extent, it threatens to pull Islamabad into a broader regional conflict, and that too less than a month before national elections. So what happens now in your view?
Well, I think that the Pakistanis, even though they don't have any moral ground because they are known to be a haven of terrorism, but they may invoke this boogie of their sovereignty and all that. And they might try to raise it. But I believe that the foreign minister of Iran has met the Pakistani acting prime minister in Davos, and there must have been some understandings there. Now, if Iran allows or if they agree, possibly Pakistan, in order to save its skin at the government, that they are doing something to take initiative, they could do something very minor in an open area just to show that they have also carried out certain attacks. That is the one stretch that could happen. The other thing is that they might just take it easy and they can just protest strongly with Iran, and Iran might just go there. But the fact remains is that this group is very much there. There will be another occasion when these kind of activities will happen because there are these minority groups who are fighting for their independence. They're fighting for betterment of the Sunni minority in Iran. So these are the kind of things that will continue to perpetuate all the time. And for that, only the Pakistani government, the onus lies on them. The fact remains that Pakistan has never bothered to take the responsibility for these terror groups, even though they are suffering from them now, TTP, Afghan and others, whom they themselves have nurtured. So they have thousands of groups that they are nurturing all along and using it as a part of their state instrument of their foreign policy.
In fact, Pakistan has warned Iran of serious consequences. What might those be?
Well, I doubt very much that there are any serious consequences with the kind of situation that Pakistan is in, can carry out. It does carry out its nuclear bogey all the time and just speaks about it, but that's not the case. This is what I said, that I doubt very much that they will be able to do anything much. Besides, Iran is also dragged quite a bit and is trashed to a great extent within its own domestic and neighboring problems within the region. And it feels that there is an American hand also in this, because
Right.
if you remember that 1 month ago when it happened, Then the General Asif Munir was in Washington, D.C. on the day when it happened. So they feel that there is a support from Israel, from Pakistan, and from USA to these groups which are creating trouble in Iran. So I think I doubt very much. And of course, Pakistan needs to also look into it exactly how the drones and missiles could come and take down these many people there and attack the militant outfits, and without them even being known about it. But Pakistan is known to have this kind of history. If you remember, even the Osama bin Laden episode, you remember, they just hiding it. They had close cooperation with CIA all the time, yet they kept him there. And then Americans had to do it on their own. India also carried out these Pulwama strikes. I mean, in response to that. So I think that Pakistan has to do some of this housekeeping itself and take the threat of or the perpetrating these terrorist groups on their territory as a little more seriously, who are working against it. They say that our territory is not being used, but it is very much used, and the world knows about it.
Just a final question there, Ambassador. What do these tensions mean for the region as a whole? Is a bigger regional conflict coming? As we know, West Asia is already on the boil.
Well, I think that this is the most volatile region as such. And right now, what we are seeing as a result of the Israel-Hamas war, in response to which Hezbollah and the Houthis have been attacking, carrying out mayhem in the one in the seas, other on the borders with Israel, and Israel is not stopping it despite the world asking for it. Situation is getting terse, and of course, Iran is supposed to be the custodian of all these three organizations, which is 3H as it is called, whether it is Houthis, Hamas, or Hezbollah. So this can trigger it in a much bigger war, or which would be disastrous for the whole world. Indian foreign minister was there in Iran just recently. Prime Minister Modi also spoke to President Putin, and Biden also spoke to Dr. Jaishankar and all. So everybody is trying to contain it within the Gaza Strip there, but this is expanding, and by mistake also sometimes. By miscalculation, these things can spread into a much bigger configuration.
Right. Thank you, Ambassador, for all your insights. Thanks for joining me on WION World is One.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.